Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, June 3rd, at 8:26 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 701 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Suspect in Wake deputy shooting had struggled with mental illness, his family says. Supreme Court limits prosecutors' use of anti-hacking law. Tucker Carlson slams Fauci as Jesus for people who don't believe in God on Fox News. Norton antivirus adds Ethereum cryptocurrency mining. A year after a showdown on the roof of the world, India is gearing up to take on China at sea. Veterans Mick Randolph-Essie detailed Black's role in founding Memorial Day. 9-year-old driver and 4-year-old sister were headed to California when they crashed into truck. Trump advisors say the former president is so obsessed with fighting the 2020 election that telling him he lost his like pea into the wind. A 7-year-old was accused of rape. Is arresting him the answer? State Department staff warned a Trump-appointed official against investigating COVID-19's origins, fearing a probe would open a can of worms, a leaked memo says. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Derek Chauvin asks for probation as prosecutors seek 30 years ahead of sentencing, CBS News. Dr. Anthony Fauci says publicly released email about lab leak is being misconstrued, CNN. 15 Chinese elephants are on a 300-mile journey. Why? No one knows, The New York Times. U.S. weekly jobless claims fall below 400,000. Private payrolls rise solidly, Reuters. Why Texas Democrats walked out, 538. Scooter Brown involved in $200 legal dispute over private equity fund, Hollywood Reporter. Vanessa Bryant outraged over apparent Mambasata shoe leak, not approved to be made, TMZ. World number 1 Ash Barty withdraws from French Open due to hip injury, HuffPost. Jets QB Zach Wilson and Abigail have next fill date night, page 6. GOP ballot audits aren't about overturning the last election, they're about overturning the next one, Slate. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. 10,000 volunteers drop out of Tokyo Olympics. Another top player withdraws from French Open. Big money political groups and influencers are circumventing TikTok's ad ban. This is what no one tells you about losing a child. U.S. jobless claims drop to 385,000, another pandemic low. Arizona GOP audit of 2020 election draws more Republican politicians. Courtney Cox makes an Alabama roll and it sure isn't sushi. President Biden and Queen Elizabeth's official visit confirmed. Florida man charged with killing iguana tries stand your ground defense. Not relevant, Vet's mic muted as he talks about Black history of Memorial Day. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Student completes 13 years of perfect attendance. NY awards scholarships to students who vaccine. One wolf shot, another struck by car after escape. Oklahoma weather wreaking havoc on local farmers. Former alderman hosts mask-burning event at bar. Man shows up to the courthouse in stolen car. Hotel closes owing customers money. Video, kosher student allegedly forced to eat pork. Records of black men accused in race massacre cleared. CT faces a school bus driver shortage. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Harris asked to lead on voting rights, and it's a challenge. Cannes Film Festival will feature Sean Penn, Wes Anderson. Coronavirus deaths at American nursing homes drop sharply. Fragile coalition to oust Netanyahu faces growing pressure. Libyan fighters attacked by a potentially unaided drone, UN says. Michelle Wee West was ready to retire, then she got mad. Tasked to fight climate change, a secretive UN agency does the opposite. A New York 7-year-old was accused of rape. Is arresting him the answer? The point was to win, Barack Obama writes. Biden to meet Queen Elizabeth during trip to Europe. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Eating fresh fruit lowers risk of type 2 diabetes, study claims. Pompeo, we need to know what Fauci knew and when he knew it about suspected Wuhan lab leak. Fauci stresses keeping open mind on coronavirus origin amid scrutiny over lab leak theory. Coronavirus lockdowns led to more screen exposure, sleep issues, study suggests. Hailey Baldwin wouldn't even be with husband Justin Bieber if not for Christian faith. 3 days in Moscow remembers Reagan's efforts in Russia on the anniversary of the Moscow summit. GOP Chair Stefanik blasts Biden admin, calls for unilateral reopening of northern border. Lara Trump torches media for sad coverage of Fauci emails, journalism is dead. Reward in suspected road rage shooting of California's 6-year-old up to $450,000. Media suggest Fauci was perplexed by attention during pandemic, despite gaining celebrity status. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, June 3rd. The next headlines are from the 7th most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Floyd Mayweather vs. Logan Paul bragging rights pay-per-view, how to watch, stream. Snooki is the frosting to our cake, Jenny Farley and Dina Nicole Cortez on MTV's Jersey Shore family vacation. It was wonderful jumping into 1949, Jordan Christie on Paramount Plus SY Women Kill. Child tax credit, how much money will the government pay you each month? Memorial Tournament preview, Muirfield Village produces great champions on a spectacular stage, says CBS Sports Jim Nantz. Rodeo Corpus Christi set to air on CBS Sunday, June 6th. Stimulus check update, is a fourth relief payment coming for Americans? It's carrying out Arthur Ashe's mission, USTA Foundation President Kathleen Wu on Rally for the Future Tennis Initiative. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Disaster for British holidaymakers as EU refuses to put UK on its whitelist. B-52 bombers fly over all 30 NATO states in show of strength ahead of Biden-Putin summit. Biden and Boris Johnson to meet ahead of G7 summit. Princess Charlene of Monaco debuts an even more dramatic shave hairstyle in South Africa. Lewis Hamilton criticizes French Open for fining Naomi Osaka. Holidays nightmare as no countries are added to UK's green list. Everest climbers could have spread Nepal COVID variant across the world. Fauci doubles down on COVID origin, saying it's likely from an animal species to a human. Ex-Tory treasurer Peter Cruddas gives party $500,000 after Boris Johnson makes him appear. To Kill a Mockingbird is voted the most inspirational book of all time by British readers. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Xi's call for a lovable China may not tame the wolf warriors. Mexico's midterms raise question of López Obrador's legacy. Good feeling, AIWE picks Portugal for new show, Home. COVID-19 live updates, Vietnam virus mutation not a new variant, WHO says. Greece starts vaccine campaign at asylum seeker facilities. Satellite photos show hulk of what was biggest Iran warship. Bahrain offers Pfizer booster for some who got Chinese shots. Princess Diana's wedding dress, and its 25-foot train, now on display at Kensington Palace. In Peru's pandemic election, a rural school teacher challenges a political dynasty. A scientist adventurer and China's Batwoman are under scrutiny as coronavirus lab leak theory gets another look. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. French Open 2021, Body retires injured, Djokovic and Federer in action, live. Coronavirus live news, Italy opens vaccinations for all over 12s, over 2 billion COVID jabs given worldwide. Leftist teacher takes on dictator's daughter as Peru picks new president. U.S. jobless claims hit pandemic low as hiring picks up, Business Live. Jimmy Kimmel on Trump abandoning his blog, it's a move he calls the Eric. North Atlantic whales shrinking due to fishing gear entanglements. Liz Phair's teenage obsessions, I wanted to be a 6,000-year-old vampire with style. Biden to meet with Queen Elizabeth this month, Buckingham Palace says, live. COVID variants, how much protection do we get from vaccines? Nothing can be taken at face value, should we ever trust a recorded image? The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Workers win round in equal pay lawsuit against Tesco. 3 Wilmington police officers shot while responding to call. Pence returns to another key early presidential voting state. First cruise ship sails through Venice in start of pandemic. Even vaccinated California workers may have to keep masks on. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Benjamin Netanyahu calls to block Israel's newly formed coalition. France emergency service number disrupted after network outage. Twitter Blue subscription service launches in Australia and Canada. Google diversity head removed over anti-Semitic blog post. Cannes Film Festival 2021, Sean Penn's Flag Day among lineup. The unlikely coalition that could end Benjamin Netanyahu's premiership. China suspends ultramarathons after death of 21 runners. Coronavirus, Germany fights trade in fake COVID vaccine certificates. Denmark asylum, law passed to allow offshore asylum centers. Venus, NASA announces 2 new missions. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Anheuser-Busch offers to buy America's next round, shots for shotguns in West Virginia vaccine lottery, live COVID-19 updates. Derek Chauvin's attorney says he shouldn't go to prison for George Floyd's murder. Exclusive, cops outed as racists or extremists are still on the job or were rehired, ADL says. Workers begin reopening intersection where George Floyd died in Minneapolis. Controversial Indiana needle exchange program that quelled massive HIV outbreak voted down. We cannot stay silent, Texas valedictorian goes off script in graduation speech to protest new abortion law. New York City mayoral race, what to know about the candidates, issues and why a progressive isn't leading the way. This is like Bonnie and Clyde, girl, 14, and boy, 12, open fire on Florida deputies after walking away from juvenile group home. 14-year-old girl shot by police after opening fire on them while burglarizing a house. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Busted, 3 dangerous social media myths about COVID-19 vaccines. Magnitude 3.6 earthquake rattles San Jose. Column, who will fill Eli Broad's philanthropic shoes? How about nobody? After Myanmar military coup, Burmese in California struggle to seize the world's attention. His lonely war in room 533, how a COVID patient fought to keep his life from crumbling. Podcast, a revolt in Northern California with national importance. Slammed by COVID-19 shutdown, San Luis Obispo boosts Newsom recall. Freedom from masks is coming for the vaccinated. Will it push skeptics to get their shots? California's top court weighs overturning hundreds of death penalty sentences. Tito Ortiz was hailed as Huntington Beach's Donald Trump. Where does the city go now? We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Mass-scale manipulation of Twitter discovered. 47% of local trends in Turkey and 20% of global trends are fake. Crimean Tatar Mejlis leader sentenced to 6 years for proving Crimea did not ask for Russian annexation. Nearly all of the world's glaciers are losing mass at an ever-increasing pace, contributing to more than a fifth of global sea level rise this century, according to unprecedented research. Netanyahu foes push for quick vote to end his 12-year rule. World must rewild on massive scale to heal nature and climate, says UN. The world must rewild and restore an area the size of China to meet commitments on nature and the climate, says the UN, and the revival of ecosystems must be met with all the ambition of the space race. Denmark passes law to let it relocate asylum seekers outside Europe. Microsoft Irish subsidiary paid zero corporate tax on 220 billion profit last year. Estonia becomes first Baltic nation to ban for farming. BBC sparks outrage after removing content following pressure from pro-Israel lobby. Germany persistently broke air pollution rules, EU top court rules. Italy shocked as infamous mafia boss Giovanni Brusca is freed after 25 years. He's responsible for the murder of hundreds, including melting a child in a vat of acid. Tiananmen Massacre Museum in HK closes down 2 days before event anniversary. Ex-Austrian minister who danced with Putin at wedding lands Russian oil job. Russia. EU agrees to force multinationals to disclose tax, piling pressure on UK, a policy designed to expose how some of the world's biggest companies, such as Apple, Facebook and Google, avoid paying an estimated $500 billion, 358 billion, a year in taxes through shifting their profits. The next headlines are from Forbes. Chefs at this hospitality brand are fighting to save our oceans. Support for death penalty slips in U.S., but remains high among whites and Republicans. Lara Trump dismisses reports Trump believes he will be reinstated in August. Nevada expands mail-in voting as other battleground states pass restrictions. BTS and Olivia Rodrigo made last week a historic one on Spotify. Manoj Bajpayee interview, Indian actor on The Family Man Season 2. GM announces moves to restock dealer lots. That's nonsense, Fauci responds to GOP backlash over his emails on COVID origin. Austin FC's Q2 stadium focused on authentic Austin experiences. More than 500 CXOs align on how to move forward. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Use microaffirmations and call out microaggressions to help others. Nasal delivery of an IgM offers broad protection from SARS-CoV-2 variants. Charge-carrying films for solar cells made quickly and cleanly. Hunting the strongest accelerators in our galaxy. Natural killer cells lull tumors into dormancy. Lifelong antibodies, optogenetic vision and ships flying fake flags. Base editing of hematopoietic stem cells rescues sickle cell disease in mice. Telecom heralded entanglement between multi-mode solid-state quantum memories. Widespread deoxygenation of temperate lakes. intrinsic toughening and stable crack propagation in hexagonal boron nitride. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,709,337,857 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Turning back time, Perry Mason production design and VFX worked hand in hand to recreate 1930s Los Angeles. Emmy voters, here's a personal reason why you shouldn't overlook HBO's We Are Who We Are. TikTok artist Jack's on new single Like My Father, signing with Atlantic Records and sliding into a Sandlot star's DMs. Scott Walker sets Creature feature The Tank, Cornerstone launches sales for virtual Cannes market. Cannes selection of Justin Kurzel's Nitram to reopen violence debate. Sucherman executive search firm acquired by ZRG. Emmy predictions, supporting actress in a comedy series, SNL Ladies Could Rule with Kate McKinnon and Cecily Strong leading the charge. Square Eyes picks up Tomas Wolski's animated doc 1970, adds to Rotterdam lineup exclusive. Twitter Blue subscription service launches, but it will still include ads. Magnolia Pictures buys action fantasy Mayday exclusive. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Why NASA is blasting water bears and bobtail squid into space. High school valedictorian swaps speech to speak out against Texas' new abortion law. Your Amazon Echo will share your Wi-Fi network with neighbors, unless you opt out. Are Evil, a notorious ransomware gang, was behind JBS cyber attack, the FBI says. State seeks 30 years for George Floyd's murderer, his defense wants time served. A black nonprofit got a six-figure payment from someone whose family enslaved people. Expanding health coverage is top priority for new head of Medicare/Medicaid. There are complex forces keeping women from coming back to work. With roots in civil rights, community health centers push for equity in the pandemic. Experts call it a clown show, but Arizona audit is a disinformation blueprint. The following headlines are from the week. Lara Trump, no plans for Trump to return to office in August as far as I know. United is investing in supersonic planes that can cut travel times in half. Biden reportedly lowers GOP infrastructure offer to $1 trillion in new spending. Samantha Bee comes up with a dozen creative ways to kill the filibuster. 5 scathing cartoons about Mitch McConnell's January 6 commission Stonewall. Civil war would be bad for business. Jimmy Kimmel laughs about Trump quitting his blog, Dr. Fauci's fan mail. A year before quitting Southern Baptists, Russell Moore privately slammed SBC leaders over sex abuse, racism, psychological terrorism. The Trump Justice Department also secretly seized the phone records of 4 New York Times reporters last year. George P. Bush announces run for Texas Attorney General. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Again, Texas Republicans fail to gut local labor protections. With a special session on voting restrictions looming, Texas Dems push for federal protections. Strangest state, a UFO in Austin and a rare cloned horse. The next headlines are from Physics Buzz News. What's the price of physics history? The next headlines are from Universe Today. Solar horns at sunrise, our guide to the June 10th annular solar eclipse. NASA orders up a double shot of Venus missions amid questions about life. Lunar rovers, transform and roll out. No, Canadarm2 hit by a piece of space debris. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, June 3rd. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. The most ancient spiral galaxy yet. What is the age of Earth? May lunar eclipse and a colorful cosmic cloud. Big and Little Dippers on June evenings. SpaceX CRS-22 mission Thursday will carry tiny crewmates. Holding the Singapore sun. The Crow, Cup and Water Snake in June. Active seaflow volcanoes on Jupiter's moon Europa. New water clues on Uranus and Neptune. Alphega, a jewel in the Northern Crown. The next news is from Politico. George Floyd's murder transformed America. Boris Johnson, nothing in the data to prevent England's lockdown exit. Biden seeks high-level data deal to repair European digital ties. Europe risks being left out of space race with US, China, says space boss. U.S. reveals plans for first 25 million donated vaccine doses. Biden directs federal agencies to up their anti-corruption game. Lara Trump rebuts idea that her father-in-law plans to be reinstalled in the White House soon. Not-so-remote areas with internet black holes renew fight for broadband. One thing Congress actually can agree on, removing the Capitol fence. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australia lazy and dumb in mineral approach. Organizations must stop shifting responsibility for harassment. Life experience a secret weapon for incoming aged care staff. The latest illustrations from artist Kathy Wilcox. From the archives, 1988, Our Memories Are Sweet, Old Canberra Cake. In the Herald, June 4, 1981. Sea of Whales, first sightings off Australia of huge humpback pods. ABC requests $90 million to create more children's drama content. Do you have email-triggered anxiety? Lawyers on deck for off-water collision in Sydney Hobart. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Twitter unveils Twitter Blue subscription offering, starting in Canada and Australia. Economic report, the U.S. economy is on fire, ISM shows, but labor and supply shortages are a big drag. Market Extra, AMC's early losses BlackBerry's gain as meme stocks enter a bang rotation. Coronavirus update, COVAX gets $2.4 billion in COVID vaccine supply commitments for world's poorest countries as experts warn on variants. Buy this, not bad, the hottest accessory for summer 2021, white teeth. FireEye stock head toward worst day in a year after deal to sell core products business. Tax guy, deferring taxable income is usually a good idea, but here's how it can backfire. Amazon to use Billie Eilish, HER and Kid Cudi to help sell its Prime Day event. MarketWatch and learn how to start saving for retirement in 2 simple steps. Economic report, service sector powers strong U.S. private sector job growth in May, ADP says. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Why intellectual property and pandemics don't mix, Brookings Institution. Calvert, President Biden's assault on constitutional patent protection, North State Journal. Prolific inventor patents technology that eliminates back strain from lifting mattress while making the bed, Benzinga. Claravit partners with Explore IP to support Canadian innovation, PR Newswire. MeTech announces filing of provisional patent application for novel bioprinting method, PR Newswire. Substantive examination of patents, intellectual property, Kuwait, Mondak News alerts. Unboxing the Australian government's $100 patent scheme, Lixology. Leonhardt Ventures LLC announces plans to take bids for Globe Newswire. Cisco, peers targeted in ITC networking patent complaint, seeking alpha. Should I get a patent for my invention? Postbulletin.com. The next headlines are from Quartz. Hard pass. Olympics at CX people hating parrots. Africa's booming fintech scene has Jeff Bezos back for more. Paid vaccines are a sign that the Modi government has relinquished the duties of a welfare state. Tech workers who flocked to Taiwan's COVID-free haven are now fleeing. How India's youngest airline is dealing with the toughest period in 100 years. Will Huawei's Android knockoff appease China's technology hawks? Why Amazon is backing away from drug testing employees for weed. Cookies. Why Etsy thinks fashion resale site Depop is worth $1.6 billion. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Stanford Federalist Society tries to cancel law student for satirical email about Josh Hawley. Supreme Court says the community caretaking exception doesn't apply to warrantless searches of people's homes. A conversation about video game preservation in the gaming industry is long overdue. Content moderation case study, Twitter suspends users who tweet the word Memphis, 2021. Leaked emails show Chicago PD deployed drones using off-the-books forfeiture funds. Trump banned himself from his own blog, upset that everyone mocked its terrible traffic. Europe's Human Rights Court says UK mass surveillance violated rights, unlawfully obtained journalists' communications. Daily Deal, set up 1-year subscription. Washington Post runs bizarrely ignorant opinion piece claiming Florida's content moderation law is constitutional. Broadband industry keeps, falsely, claiming U.S. broadband prices are dropping. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. 3080T. Bob Baffert. George P. Bush. Avalanche. Clippers. Chris T. Hendricks. Jake Evans. LeBron James. Seth Curry. NHL Draft Lottery. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Barack and Michelle Obama team up with Netflix to deliver the animated civics lesson nobody asked for. Wanted Russian oil official shielded from fraud charges by UK bought $40 million mansion in London before fleeing Moscow, reports. Russia has great investment opportunities for Europe despite sanctions and COVID crisis, former French presidential envoy. Pakistani province strips government employees of pay if they refuse to have COVID vaccine. Man in Damask, Belgium ace De Bruyne set to miss Euro 2020 opener versus Russia, will need face mask to protect fractures. New world order being formed before our eyes, Russia's deputy defense minister tells RT head of key Moscow security conference. Austrian leader Kurz laments state of EU-Russia relations, says real peace in Europe can only be achieved if they work together. Indian officials need to be charged with manslaughter over COVID vaccine shortage, Delhi High Court blasts Modi's government. EU unveils digital ID wallet that can link to citizens' bank details, driving license and other services. NFL vows to end race norming policy which assumed black players had lower brain function. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Former MI6 head warns China will have had lab leak evidence destroyed or made to disappear. Stocks jump after Biden signals major changes to tax proposal to win GOP support. WTI extends gains after sizable crude inventory draw, shrugs off unexpected product builds. We'll see $200 oil. Russia and OPEC ministers blast IEA's net zero by 2050 plan as La La Land. The Senate parliamentarian just ripped the heart out of the Democrats' agenda. AMC crashes as new most shorted stocks including WKHS, GTT explode higher. Twitter launches premium service with new features like undo tweet. Services survey signals stagflation as firms increasingly pass on higher costs to clients. Rabobank, I don't know much about art. Deutsche Bank orders bankers back to the office after Labor Day. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Wild ride, AMC cashes in on rally to sell more shares. Benefits or bottleneck, U.S. restaurants struggle to hire workers. Egypt used Gaza ceasefire to improve its standing in Washington. UK broke law by housing refugees in squalid conditions, court. Canada, calls grow to uncover more residential school mass graves. Netanyahu's take charge in Israel. Should critical race theory be taught to U.S. students? Racist depression is not contained within national borders. Danish parliament approves law to deport asylum seekers. Nigeria's northwest region facing humanitarian crisis, MSF warns. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Former VP Mike Pence furthers 2024 speculation, delivering a speech in New Hampshire. I'm drowning, migrants scream into darkness from Texas border river. Poll, 58% believe definitely or probably true coronavirus originated in Wuhan lab. The USFL returns, 80-0 league to return with rights to original team names. FNC's Carlson, Fauci deserves to be under criminal investigation. Jobless claims drop to 385,000, a post-pandemic low. Joe Biden pauses infrastructure negotiations for beach birthday with Jill Biden. Private payrolls grew by 978,000 in May, ADP estimates. LA County Sheriff, homicides up 95% over 2020, will issue more concealed carry permits. Pollack, like Margaret Thatcher, Benjamin Netanyahu is being ousted because of his success. The next headlines are from UPI News. Idaho man wins his second lottery jackpot in 7 years. FDA, don't eat cicadas if you have seafood allergies. Watch, police, game warden rescue deer from soccer net in Wisconsin. Scottish man reunited with stolen wallet after 17 years. Boat dealer offers $100,000 reward for catching specific fish. Watch, Maryland County throws birthday party for 100-year-old twins. iPhone 12 fished out of Berlin Canal with a magnet. Watch, bobcat that sparked school evacuation was escaped house cat. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. 2-year-old girl with a genius IQ is the youngest American to become member of Mensa. Bees actually bite plants to make them flower early, surprising scientists. Americans choose the best road trip tunes of all time for your summer playlist. Father and daughter put cicadas into cute poses for fun photos in Virginia. Researchers have found that listening to natural sounds like running water benefits human health. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, June 3rd. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Accusations fly fast after sex toy on drone interrupts campaign event. Jeremy Clarkson successfully herds sheep with a drone, until he doesn't. Bride dies of heart attack during wedding, groom marries her sister. OnlyFans creator said she had a heart attack after attempting TikTok trend, don't listen to influencers. Sustainable flat-packed pasta morphs into shape as it cooks. English road left looking like a horror film after tomato puree spillage England. A high school senior was accused of violating his graduation's dress code with his shoes, so a teacher switched with him. Kansas staff use wheel whackers to scare off rattlesnakes drawn to a 380s parked in California desert. Alligator swam to Texas beach from Louisiana. Bobcat that sparked school evacuation was escaped house cat. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Why the United Nations urgently needs its own regulation for AI. If you're a Mac owner, this app bundle FT Parallels Pro is chock full of heavy hitters and a super low price. How Dutch cities are developing data sharing standards for mobility tech. Next Gen AR glasses are coming soon. What's it going to take to build apps for them? NASA is returning to Venus to study why Earth's evil twin became a blazing hellhole. Meet the Nevera, Rimac super fast and super expensive electric hypercar. WhatsApp confirms you will be able to link 4 devices through one account. Left-hand turns slow down traffic and make roads unsafe. Let's get rid of them. Stack Overflow acquired by Prosus for a whopping $1.8 billion. Microsoft's new version of Windows will launch on June 24th. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Culture drives human evolution more than genetics. Record-breaking temperatures more likely in populated tropics. Lighting hydrogels via nanomaterials. Zika virus RNA found in free-ranging African bats. Machine learning platform mines nature for new drugs. Scientists identify signaling underlying regeneration. Particle-free silver microgrid outperforms other flexible high-performance transparent electrodes. Dead zones formed repeatedly in North Pacific during warm climates. Oldest human traces from the southern Tibetan Plateau in a new light. The powerhouse future is flexoelectric. The next headlines are from Information Week. Preparing for the upcoming quantum computing revolution. Automation strategies are shaping up. LogMain CIO, the art of integrating acquisitions. Hiring and attracting tech talent with an engineering-first mindset. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, June 3rd from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA selects 2 missions to study lost habitable world of Venus. Scientificas de la NASA disponibles para entrevistas durante la temporada de hurricanes. NASA scientists available for interviews throughout hurricane season. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Growing alarm that American democracy is in danger, University of Utah professor says. Latest from Mormon land, imagining what each apostle would do as church president. This luxury tower will be the tallest apartment complex in Salt Lake City. Letter, the abuse directed at Governor Cox because he wore a mask while visiting a school is appalling. Another slide disrupts Bingham Canyon mine. Martina spirit drug test confirmed, Bob Bavert suspended 2 years. Utah County Commission declares state of emergency over drought. Enter the world of the Goodwill Outletins, where some Utahns are feeding the ultimate side hustle. Gang members worked with Mexican drug cartel to sell drugs in Salt Lake City, indictments allege. Utah Rep. Blake Moore describes scary day at the Capitol, defends his vote for a January 6th investigation. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Twitter debuts subscriptions to super users in new revenue push. Google is making it harder for Android apps to track you once you've opted out. Russian cybercriminal group was behind meat plant attack, FBI says. Norton 360 antivirus now lets you mine Ethereum cryptocurrency. NASA plans blockbuster return to Venus. G7 nations committing billions more to fossil fuel than green energy. Bill Gates' next-generation nuclear reactor to be built in Wyoming. Huawei's Harmony OS arrives with iPad-inspired tablet UI, apparent Android base. Amazon warehouse injuries 80% higher than competitors, report claims. PayPal shuts down longtime Tor supporter with no recourse. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Missouri Supreme Court denies case for Kansas City man prosecutor deems innocent. I-55 southbound near Pevely and Festus reopens following car crash. Thursday's cool temps turn summer-like by Friday. Some Missouri lawmakers want to stop St. Louis and Kansas City from defunding the police. Chemical vents from railcars causing safety concerns in part of Metro East. 11-year-old boy grazed by bullet early Thursday morning. St. Louis residents share concerns about crime in the city. St. Louis couple celebrates 70th wedding anniversary. Share how you want St. Louis to spend millions in federal stimulus money. Grandmother speaks out after man charged in hit and run that killed one-year-old grandson. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. After pandemic pause, Avengers swing, soar into Disneyland. Bodicum captures shootout between Florida deputies, 2 children armed with AK-47 and shotgun. Man sentenced for assaulting flight attendants on service from San Diego. 3 Oceanside sisters killed in head-on crash in Idaho. U.S. jobless claims drop to 385,000, another pandemic low. El Cajon Zone trio dominated motocross scene in Mission Valley. Oceanside Council votes to remove medical-only restriction on cannabis facilities. Popular taco shop struggles to hire employees as restrictions loosen. Man gets 17 years in prison for killing wife in attempted murder-suicide. The next headlines are from SpookNews.com. Man catches his girlfriend cheating for 6 years using a USB plug-in recording device, Texas News Today. New BMW M4 spy shots show hotter variant with an aggressive face. Casper man gets probation for stalking woman. Mercedes X5 video captures silent sedan back at Nürburgring. Russia widens opposition crackdown with bill, jailing of critic. Russia widens opposition crackdown with bill, jailing of critic, France 24. Man catches girlfriend of 6 years cheating on him. Dunhammer, NSA blamed for Danish spying on Europol's Security Boulevard. Here's what Ziva's role within Mossad really was on CIS. NSA spying row, 4 reasons why the US and Europe may continue to snoop on each other and still remain friends. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. US Special Forces get powerful cryptographic device. Rheinmetall delivers first batch of Boxer CRV vehicles to Australia. German Puma combat vehicle readiness rates soar, from 43% to 60%. Hanwha Defense wants in on the British Mobile Fires program. General Dynamics secures $28 contract for Army's Mobile Tactical Communications Network. Lockheed Martin gets $49 contract for Apache's targeting and pilotage system. U.S. Navy destroyer successfully intercepts ballistic targets. U.S. Army to cut procurement of 155mm artillery rounds. Russia says that Southeast Asian countries Su-57 jets. U.S. Air Force awards contract to Learjet for E-11B ACN communications jets. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. Xi smiles from the U.S. and China on trade, Yellen meets Liu. The history of Chinese animation, from groundbreaking Havoc in Heaven to crappy-looking Kung Fu Mulan. Sign up for the China vibe. Li Zicheng sets fire to the Forbidden City. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. California man sentenced for assaulting flight attendants. Queen Elizabeth II to meet with Joe Biden at Windsor Castle. Inferno-like Venus picked for 2 new NASA missions. Berkeley delay closes to avoid charging crazy prices to keep up with meat costs. South Bay wakes up to early earthquake. Driver of overturned garbage truck vanishes from East Bay Freeway. Do I have to be tested for COVID-19 if I'm vaccinated? Black Lives Matter artwork vandalized at Mill Valley High School. Newly appointed Windsor mayor replaces Dominic Foppoli. Orinda City Council decides 4th of July parade is worth a risk. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. GM raises forecast, says chip shortage not as bad as feared. Longtime Steelers broadcaster Ilkin retiring to fight ALS. AMC, this summer's blockbuster stock, warns of plot twists. U.S. service sector growth surges in May. Suspect arrested in slayings of Indiana woman, 3 children. Stocks fall broadly on Wall Street, AMC falls on share sale. What now with Route 53 extension land? State lawmakers create task force to decide. Better, Chicago's very own goes digital with WGN News Now. Abbott closes Gurney plant, lets go 2,000 workers as demand for COVID-19 tests drops. Opening weekend a success for Beer Garden at Independence Grove Forest Preserve. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Famed Seattle spots, what they once were and what's there today. Events, new attractions, more happening in Seattle this weekend. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Blanca 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone CHOI, WAN, 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 6.1 m, depth 9.86 km, in Indonesia March 6, 2021, 10:09 UTC, about 800 people within 100 kilometers. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, June 3rd in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cipher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. Mapping China by the numbers, toward a government data ecosystem. Mapping China by the numbers, organizing to win. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. War on my rights, high school valedictorian scraps approved speech, delivers abortion rights call. Duke basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski to talk about plans for his final season, retirement. Murder suspect Victor Cuevas details original plans for Tiger in emotional Instagram post. Houston's Miller Outdoor Theater, what to know before you go. Charges against girlfriend of Samuel Olson's dad could be upgraded pending investigation. The threat for heavy rain and flooding is increasing. Houston chef finds viral success on TikTok. Teens want a shot at a $5,000 scholarship, get vaccinated, Harris County says. Chicago's Macy's hangs largest American flag. 3-year-old girl dies in hospital after crash with 2 vehicles on East X Freeway. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. U.S. prioritizing anti-corruption efforts in foreign policy. Crews remove barriers, memorials at George Floyd Square. Demand rises for states' pandemic loans to small businesses. Bob Fosse's dance implants to glide back to Broadway. Tech calms down, but still strong as the world goes digital. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. The long-awaited future of Governor's Island is almost here. New York City's second mayoral debate brings a lively pre-show to the streets, followed by sharp attacks on stage. MTA reports cyber hack in April, but no disruption or data loss. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Extra, Donald Trump dumps blog after less than a month. Round 2, here we go, Nets fans feel Brooklyn pride as team beats Celtics. New music venue Brooklyn made launching in Bushwick this fall. NYC to install COVID vaccine clinics at 4 Bronx schools. Little Island announces inaugural summer performances. If you're partying again in NYC, be wary of fentanyl-laced cocaine. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Child married and domestic violence, what we found in 16 African countries. Agroecology under threat. Restoration call for area the size of China to protect falling biodiversity and food insecurity. Freedom for all on 2, or 3, wheels. Invasive pests spread another fallout from climate change, UN-backed study finds. Staggering health needs emerge in Gaza, following Israel-Hamas conflict. We won't allow corruption to continue unchecked, UN Assembly President. Naomi Osaka's bravery can be a teachable moment about mental health. Mali, military must scrupulously respect human rights and free civilian leaders. Light below water, the UN calls for action on ocean protection. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Another state introduces COVID vaccine lottery with $10 million in cash prizes. Read 3,200 pages of Anthony Fauci's emails. New email shows Dr. Fauci was told in January 2020 the coronavirus looked engineered. Fauci emails. Fauci deserves to be under criminal investigation. Now is your last chance to opt out of Amazon Sidewalk. The vaccine divide and emerging segregation society. The Great Reset requires great propaganda and the rejection of logic and rationality. EU launches digital wallet in latest step toward cashless society. US waives FBI checks on caregivers at new migrant facilities, alarming child welfare experts. Vaccination tracking apps ineffective, amplify inequalities, pose privacy issues, report. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Talk of Trump 2024 unbilled as legal pressure intensifies. Candidate interrupted by sex toy attached to drone. Mississippi teen fatally shot hours after graduation. George P. Bush running for Attorney General in Texas. Were Donald Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts restored? Ad falsely claims AOC owns one of world's most expensive houses. Sick of dangerous city traffic, remove left turns. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Can Venus help save Earth from going Jeffrey Dahmer? NASA's going to find out. Joe Biden will become the 13th U.S. president to meet Queen Elizabeth next week. This little press made my hamburger so much better. Forget stains, white remains fashion's ultimate summer color. Going 10 rounds with Bruno Mars. 5 things Dems must do now to save democracy from the GOP. Antarctica is running out of ice and you should be terrified. The big problem with Department of Justice throwing the book at January 6 rioters. Why Democrats are cheering for a month of Senate failure. The Real Housewives is turning racism into reality TV spectacle. The next headlines are from the New York Post. U.S. seeks freedom for 2 American journalists in Myanmar. Meghan Trainor details son's terrifying birth. Biden to meet Queen Elizabeth at Windsor Castle next weekend. Teen girl dies of food allergy after eating dessert at cheer banquet. Superman impersonator tries to stop us with hand, gets clonked. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Ask Astro I, what would the Milky Way look like from the Andromeda Galaxy? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. NASA is sending baby squid and water bears to the space station. 7 asteroids are zooming past Earth this week. How to watch next week's Ring of Fire solar eclipse. Biden unveils vaccine incentives as push to get 70% of adults partially vaccinated by July 4th looms. U.S. employees return to work as country emerges from COVID pandemic. Space junk hits International Space Station, damaging robotic arm. Russians prepare for arrival of new space station module. Biden suspends drilling leases in Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Nature, wolves of Yellowstone. Forecasters predict above normal 2021 hurricane season. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. 10% of world's giant sequoia trees destroyed by California fire, study says. Man convicted of beheading dog with chainsaw now faces hate crime charges in anti-gay attack. Andrew Yang vows to be next Bloomberg after NYC mayoral rivals accuse him of being a Republican. 15 former Washington State University fraternity brothers charged in pledges 2019 alcohol poisoning death. Buckingham Palace banned minorities from office jobs, newly discovered documents show. New documentary highlights the challenges faced by 4 of the last 21 remaining U.S. lesbian bars during the pandemic, and why it's vital to save them. Sex toy carrying drone interrupts mayoral candidate's event in New Mexico. Queen Elizabeth's 70 years of service to be celebrated next year with Platinum Jubilee events. 3 Delaware police officers shot while responding to call. Las Vegas man accused of killing 2-year-old boy pleads not guilty. The following headlines are from military.com. Retired Navy Lieutenant Commander accused of breaching U.S. Capitol appears in court. Groceries to go, most military commissaries to start offering curbside pickup service. Russian upper house votes to exit from overflight treaty. Military leaders wary of changes in sexual assault policy. As woke criticism grows, Pentagon says no apologies for diversity programs. VA hospital allowed alcoholic pathologist to go unchallenged, resulting in patient deaths, watchdog. C-17 sightseeing tour over Ireland that drew complaints from locals was pre-approved, base says. DPAA expects to identify 90% of USS Oklahoma unknowns by year's end. Bill would provide better education benefits to Native American veterans. Department of Defense has no plans to investigate former 3-star Mike Flynn's coup comments, spokesman says. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Hydrate, shade, sunscreen, summer temperatures, sunshine expected for weekend in Chicago. Attempted murder charges filed against man who allegedly shot his ex-girlfriend, her 1-year-old son on West Side. Coronavirus in Illinois updates, here's what's happening Thursday with COVID-19 in the Chicago area. Chicago Marathon expecting 35K runners this year, with some COVID-19 safety measures, after last year's event went virtual. Man crossing Mount Prospect Street in wheelchair is struck by vehicle in a hit-and-run crash. Cops later track down driver. 14-year-old girl shot in back of the Yards neighborhood. Wisconsin businessman gets nearly 5 years in prison and $1 million COVID-19 relief money fraud. You took advantage of our nation's generosity. Daywatch, why restaurant workers aren't coming back, the fallout from Chicago's 2020 unrest and timeout market returns. Column, as vaccine incentive, Joe Biden must offer to reinstate Donald Trump as president. For 50 years, it provided a lifeline to blind adults with developmental disabilities in Chicago. COVID-19 led to its demise. The following headlines are from phys.org. Puppies are wired to communicate with people, study shows. Water droplets become hydrobits by adding magnetic beads. Quantum computing with holes. North Atlantic right whales have gotten smaller since the 1980s. You're more likely to find misinformation if you think others are being duped. 1 in 20 workers are in useless jobs, far fewer than previously thought. Galileo satellite's last step before launch. Solar energy and pollinator conservation, a path for real impact. Reading autofiction can challenge and change what feels true. Pressure to return to the office could be making employees more anxious. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, June 3rd, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Martin Odegaard to leave Arsenal when loan deal expires. Georgia prosecutor drops charges in 2017 triple slaying. Twitter starts subscription service in Canada, Australia. Biden announces international COVID-19 vaccine sharing plan. Cleveland Indians narrowing final list of new names. White House, Biden to meet with Turkey's Erdogan at NATO. Nonprofit Embrace Race helps parents explain race to children. Shrinking giants, North Atlantic right whales getting tinier. Jaguars owner unveils plans to develop downtown Jacksonville. Hong Kong police tell foreign hosting firm to remove website. The following headlines are from mercurynews.com. LB Steaks first East Bay restaurant opens in San Ramon. Another 1980s comeback story, USFL wants to return in 2022. CCS Girls Basketball Playoffs, 5 things we learned from seeding meeting. How much is lost in a remote broadcast? We asked SF Giants, athletics announcers. Feels like our planet is literally drying up. Drought ravages Northern California's reservoirs ahead of hot summer. California to pay $2 million church legal fees over coronavirus closures. Monterey County sentenced to 15 years in prison in shooting death of brother. CCS Boys Basketball Playoffs, 5 things we learned from seeding meeting. 7 wonderful Bay Area things to do this weekend, June 4th to 6th. California unemployment claims rise, now 67% above normal. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Doug Mastriano, a state senator, says Arizona vote audit should be model for his state. Rumble video site books up for showdown with YouTube. SD Governor Kristi Noem blast political ruling that nixed Mount Rushmore fireworks for July 4th. U.S. officials worry about disparities in COVID-19 vaccine uptake. Appeals court upholds federal eviction moratorium. Ex-Vice President Mike Pence to headline GOP event in New Hampshire. Central Intelligence Agency victim of Havana syndrome blames Kremlin. Russians are very aggressive against U.S. gov. A clear conscience helped Cardinal George Pell endure solitary confinement before exoneration. White House to companies, do your part to prevent ransomware attacks. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Nothing is changing. ICE sends detainees to Irwin prison despite pledges to close it. Idaho state legislator doxxed to sexual assault survivor, drawing ethics complaints. Meet the construction attorney who shook up New York's mayoral race. Ambushed by the cops when police deliberately trap peaceful protesters. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from Eureka Alert. Researchers find evidence that diet can alter the microbiome to affect breast cancer risk. Combination of early reading programs helps with kindergarten readiness. AI outperforms humans in creating cancer treatments, but do doctors trust it? Scientists from NTU and Rice University uncover secret behind one of the world's toughest materials. Changes in pregnancy, birth rates during COVID-19. Secondary infections inflame the brain, worsening cognition in Alzheimer's disease. Biomarker predicts bowel cancer recurrence. How quantum dots can talk to each other. 5 million years of climate change preserved in one place. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. White Sox TV voice Jason Benetti will call Olympic baseball for NBC this summer. Boy, 14, shot in foot in Lawndale. USFL, backed by Fox Sports, plans to relaunch next year. Your table awaits. Chicago's outdoor dining season is underway. Man missing from Washington Heights. Outdoor fun, exhibits to visit at Chicago area zoos, Chicago Botanic Garden and Morton Arboretum. Man charged with attempted murder after toddler, mother shot through window of West Side apartment. Driver seriously wounded in Dan Ryan shooting near 33rd. Dear Abby, man's destructive fits of rage frighten his wife and his dog. 14-year-old girl critically wounded in back of the yards. Give our city back to our youth, activist pleads. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Astro World fan shuts down homophobia in some way. Houston Texans QB matchups in 2021 are surprising on paper. Upcoming Houston food events, pick up Southeast Asian-inspired ice cream by the pint. Blackberry smoke have Georgia on their minds. What the U.S. Senate needs to learn from Texas about the filibuster. Best virtual bets, Hop-High Fest, Pariah, and Love Motels for Insects. Chris Shepard, Cheeseburgers and CBD. From Sunday morning booze to backing the blue, Texas lawmakers hustled in session's final days. More heavy rain, potential flooding to start June. Houston Texans sign Patriots cast-off RB Rex Burkhead. The next headlines are about world records making news. Dressel Dissect, Caleb critiques 100 IM world record at the ISL Grand Final. Dressel Dissect, Caleb critiques 100 IM world record at the ISL Grand Final, Swim Swam. 2021 U.S. Olympic Trials previews, Bacon's time to sizzle in women's 200 ag, Swim Swam. Waverly teen charged in burglary and attack, WNBF.com. Jinko Solar sets 25.25% efficiency record with large area N-type cell, renewables now. Robert Bardini, the world's most mysterious aircraft designer, CNN. Tesla Model S Plaid achieves new quarter-mile world record in 9.2 seconds, electric. Parking spot fetches $1.3 million at Hong Kong's Mount Nicholson, South China Morning Post. World's largest Winnie the Pooh collection belongs to a Wisconsin woman, WKOW. LONGi breaks 3 world records for solar cell efficiency of N-type TopCon, P-type TopCon and HJT, PR Newswire. Special Forces veteran sets new Wainwright's world record, Times and Star. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Minions attempt to summon hell on Earth thwarted. North Atlantic right whales are shrinking, and it's our fault. Updates from the Suicide Squad, Loki, and more. Hugh Jackman follows his heart, with his fists, in the first trailer for Lisa Joy's near-future noir reminiscence. How to use your next-gen console controllers with other devices. Why cannot we call it an emergency? Grimes says AI will give us communism in confusing new TikTok video. Netflix's Jupiter's Legacy is finished for now, but its extended universe isn't. AMC belongs to the people now. Someone hacked the MTA. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was New Wasib in Kuwait at 122.9 degrees Fahrenheit or 50.5 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was University WIID in Dome Fuji at 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Virgin Galactic announces another human-tended science flight. Attack on meat supplier came from our evil, ransomware's most cutthroat gang. This Range Rover Classic Rishdamad runs on Tesla power. No Man's Sky gets the world's first VR DLSS performance boost, let's test it. Physicists unlock multispectral secrets of earliest color photographs. Venus is so very nice, NASA is going there twice. Huawei officially replaces Android with Harmony OS, which is also Android. Verizon says forcing people off old plans to get FCC subsidy isn't upselling. SEC struggling to rein in Elon Musk's tweets, letters reveal. Dunning-Kruger meets fake news. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Biden to meet with UK's Johnson, Turkey's Erdogan in overseas trip. High school teacher resigns after being told he cannot discuss Capitol riot in class. Republicans won't stop lying about the history of the filibuster, columnist. GOP donors fear Trump will force Republicans to back 2020 election lies and cost them 2022 midterms. I was there, C-SPAN caller outs himself as January 6th participant who wants to take our country back. CNN's Jim Seato goes to town on GOP congressman for smearing the 1/6 commission as partisan. Capitol rioters' guilty plea shows what other insurrectionists might face as punishment. Trump's clown show Arizona audit is a blueprint for upending democracy in 3 easy steps, experts. Trump is an idea, not a man, and that's why his movement is so dangerous. Bad news for Matt Gaetz, former prosecutor says obstruction probe could bring pro-Trump congressman down. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. New front in ride-hailing wars, stopping blue states from treating drivers as workers. Spending by G7 nations favors fossil fuel interests over green energy. The stigma of late-term abortions is the point. The Supreme Court is about to rule on the biggest student-free speech case in 50 years. A Texas valedictorian spoke out against an abortion ban at commencement. Get ready for another active hurricane season in 2021. Winning beats from the first Indigenous Hip Hop Awards. Wave goodbye to Donald Trump's blog, which lasted 1 month. The shot in the eye squad. We take care of travelers, inside the vaccine tourism of Brazil's superrich. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. Upcoming UFO report to Congress creating lots of buzz, ABC News. Decatur shooting leaves man with knee wound top stories WantV.com, Want. NASA is ending its 30-year Venus drought with 2 new missions, MIT Technology Review. Molecular Complexity Index could help find proof of alien life, Chemistry World. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Epigenomic landscape and 3D genome structure in pediatric high-grade glioma, science advances. Regular caffeine consumption, from coffee, cola, or energy drinks, affects brain structure, see Tech Daily. The Neuroscience and the Treatment of Tinnitus, the Hearing Journal, LWW Journals. Alzheimer's disease neuronal damage may be alleviated by specific mRNA molecule, Clinical Omics News. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, June 3rd, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, June 3rd, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News8. All rights reserved.